We are live. Sorry about the pre-show or lack of the pre-show, folks. We had a little problem with our Facebook stream. It's happened sometimes, but we got it on there. And we're going to have a live guest on today's show. Today's show is all about the PTZOptics and StreamGeeks. And PTZOptics has some really cool new products. You guys know and love the PTZOptics stuff. We do it all the time, going with PTZOptics. They're one of our favorite brands of PTZ cameras. Today we're bringing in the Stream Geek himself, Paul Richards, who walked off of the screen, but he's on the screen, I think. And do we still have a show starting countdown going on somewhere? Okay, I'm going to ignore it.
Hi, Gary. How you doing?
Good. How are you? All right.
Doing good.
So we got two new products to talk about on this show, and the best part about it is they're both shipping. They're both in stock. They're both available now. So before
That's
we get...
That's right. Yeah, we've got the new webcam, and we have the wireless cable.
Cool. So before we get into that, we got to introduce you, my man. People want to know who you are, why you're on the show. So you're coming into the TriCaster TC1 via NDI, via the
Skype,
talk show,
Skype
TX technology, talk show technology. Very excited about that. So, Paul, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm the Chief Streaming Officer here at PTZOptics. We live stream every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And we're really excited about evangelizing, streaming and video production equipment for the world today. We work with churches all around the country, video production experts, and a channel team all across the country and the world.
Cool. Now you're doing something that's really unique and really cool, because we all know knowledge and content and education, that's what makes people good at what they do. And you guys are doing a special event, a summit in New York coming up in a couple of months. I'm happy to be participating in that summit. Tell us a little more about it.
Yeah, here, I'll pull it up on my screen here. So
we've got it on ours too.
Streamgeeks Summit, and we're really excited about it. We have over 20 speakers across the industry, and we're going to give away a free ticket today to the conference for someone who's watching live. I believe you guys shared that on your Facebook page. So we have over 20 speakers. It's a full day of live streaming education. We have Microsoft, we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook joining us. We also have influencers from the New York City area who have been leveraging live streaming for their businesses. We've got Roland, LiveView. I mean, the list goes on and on. New Tech is going to be there. Just tons of great speakers. And what we want to do is have a full day of education so that we can get business owners, video pros, anyone in the industry up to speed on what's been happening in live streaming. And then also have breakout workshops where you can decide to get in-depth one-on-one training in the small classroom setting as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's daunting about live streaming is it is live. So people are a little scared to do it. But what I always tell people is you got to get started somewhere. And there's plenty of technology to get you from basic all the way up to the kind of show we're doing with virtual sets. But you don't have to jump right to 11. You don't even have to jump to 3 or 4. You can get started and gradually progress. But I think what people don't quite understand is the technology is here. It's rock solid. There's no mystery to it. The stuff works at every level that we sell, from the little Webcaster X2 up to TriCasters up to your production kits. It all works, but what it takes is some practice, some getting used to. It is not something that you just pick up in 3 seconds and you're up and go. There are individual operator things that have to be learned to get these things set up to work right. It takes some trial and error, but if you give the time, you give it the effort, and you run a couple of shows, let's say as test shows and not as promoted shows, by the third show, you can really figure out what you're doing. You can really get up to speed. And once again, I use that same recommendation if someone's in a situation where, let's say you had a basic system, but what you're going to be doing is upgrading to a TriCaster or a Wirecast gear, something more elaborate. I say, always give yourself a couple of test shows that you do maybe for a small invited audience, or you go public but you don't promote it just so you can get it out there and you can take it down if things go wrong. But give yourself a couple of shows to figure out your new technology. By the third show, you'll be up and going, I promise.
I totally agree, and I think that we're trying to create a full day of education that could be for a CEO who isn't going to actually be operating the system but wants to understand how he can do new product launches, how it will influence his marketing, all the way to high school students in broadcast clubs and everybody in between. We have folks who are literally at the CEO level. We have folks who are years and years of experience in video production. And then we have students who are coming from New York City broadcast clubs who are looking at careers in the college level and in the real workforce to work in video production and learn how this equipment works.
The stats are real. Video versus a still image or text has like a 10-to-1 user, retention. And then when you go live video, some people say it goes as high as 25, 30-to-1 more so, because people feel a live event is something that's they're included in. It's more participatory. It's not so much that you're watching something on demand, but you feel a part of it, even if all you're doing is watching it. So from a marketing perspective, if you're selling a product, training, knowledge, that's where the money is. That's how you make your money in this economy, is selling your knowledge, your content, and there's no better way to do it than video. So we're really looking forward to this event. And now I want to jump into the new products. And the first product I want to jump into is the PTZOptics wireless cable, because this was a big product that was shown a little bit, maybe a little early, but it's here now and it's available. And what I love about this product is, I would say multiple times a week, we get a call, and they're right here. Here's a little close-up transmitter receiver. It's a little set that goes. We get called at least several times a week, maybe several times a day, from people who say, hey, I've got this camera. It's too far away from my production system, too far away from whatever. How do I get it in there? I see these broadcast level products that are $5,000, $6,000. That's not my budget. Help me. What can I get? And you guys, who are always just the most cost-efficient solutions out there, have done it again. Kudos, man. Tell us about this product.
Thank you. Yeah, and it did take a while it is shipping today, as you noted, but we did take a little bit of time to configure this, because we wanted a plug and play, no questions asked, no networking knowledge needed, wireless networking solution. And so that's really where the name came from, wireless cable. It is as if you have a Ethernet cable that can reach across a football field, okay, 400 feet away, point to point.
400 meters.
4 antennas. So it literally can have beam forming. So if there's football players running in between, that's okay. There's 4 antennas on either side that can bandwidth hop and really get a really strong connection up to 300 megabits per second, which is enough for a full NDI stream, allowing you to connect literally a TriCaster and a Wirecast gear, or a TriCaster and a full NDI camera, or with NDI HX, the high efficiency cameras that we offer, you can have any video production system, Wirecast, vMix, XSplit, OBS, TriCaster, and up to 20 PTZOptics NDI HX cameras. And not only is it for video, but for control and all the other things that you can do with Ethernet technology and IP.
It's a true two-way connection. I want to correct something, because Paul said 400 feet. 400 meters, closer to 1,200 feet. Yeah. So you are more than the length of a football field. You could be on one end of a soccer field, or if you're in a clubhouse that's in the gymnasium that's off the soccer field, you still cover someone with a camera on the sideline on the whole soccer game. And it is low latency. I know people ask about the latency a lot. I want to get to that a little later, because first I want to talk about the different configurations and how you get this going. So it begins with getting a pair of units, a pre-paired kit that we sell for $1,155. That includes a pre-paired cable receiver and transmitter, power supplies, and a 1-year warranty. And basically, Paul, I've never seen a product that's easier to set up and go. You plug one end into your TriCaster, one end to your camera, and it just works. And that's the really great thing about this. It just works.
And for those of you guys getting into IP networking, and those of you who know, you can plug directly in from your TriCaster 2 on one end and the camera on the other end, or you can plug in it to a network switch or an existing network. Now, if you're looking at IP and NDI, I'm guessing you have a network switch already. You've got a couple NDI sources. You've got a router, a network, a gigabit system in place. You plug that receiver in, and then the transmitting side could be one camera, or it could be a host of cameras, computers, and other devices, decoders. So you could be bridging the gap between a decoder powering an LED screen and a couple cameras. There's so many different configurations that you can do when you're really just bridging, as if it's an Ethernet cable.
So Paul, I'm going to run through, because this is actually your PowerPoint that you gave us. So we're going to run through the different connections of what you can do. We want to start by making sure people understand there's the base pair, and then you can add as many additional transmitters or receivers as you want, and they're just $578 a piece. So the basic configuration we have up here on the screen, if we can bring it up, is a single access point, a single camera, 400 meters, 1,300 feet distance. But then we get a little more complicated, and this is the advanced setup that I love, and that's the access point coming into a computer. It's got switching software on it. It could be running Wirecast. It could be running OBS. It could be running vMix. And in this example, we have 4 cameras, but there's no limit. It could be more than 4 cameras, correct?
Well, the limit is the 300 megabits per second. So that is low latency as an Ethernet cable. So that 300 megabits of bandwidth is the limit. So that is good for full NDI. Full NDI can be all the way up to 200 megabits.
Yep.
And then NDI-HX is in the neighborhood of 20 megabits. So you could have 15 cameras roughly.
So it depends on the NDI scheme you're using. And then there's daisy chain mode, which can get you some additional distance. Explain that a little bit. They act as repeaters, kind of, right?
Exactly. So one of the nice things in that way the system is built is that you can have access points, like you said, you can have stations, and you can have them kind of bridge together. So there's a lot of scenarios where this makes a lot of sense, especially if you're, doing a parade or a outdoor system or something that might have multiple bends and turns, like a bike race, Tour de France, things like that. And
or a ski
also,
slope.
If you're putting these into multiple buildings, because they can go so far, if you want to put one in the art building, you want to put one in the math building, for campuses, you can connect all these together. And, a lot of IT departments don't want to put all of their heavy bandwidth NDI video traffic on their main network, so that this is a great way to set up an independent network without the cabling requirements needed.
And that's where I think, like, the hub and spoke model, that's where I love that, because we find, especially with, let's say, high schools or small colleges, the enemy of NDI is the IT department, who's afraid that the video is going to overrun their network. Now, they happen to be wrong. It can be easily managed so that the video stays where it's supposed to stay, but convincing guys of that is a little bit hard, and they become the speed bump to a new video production, an IP-based video production for a school, small church, government agency. I love that we can now say you can do this all wirelessly. It's its own self-contained network. And they're like, oh, so these things talk to each other and nothing gets on our network. Nothing has to worry about password authentication. It's kind of a network that's separate from our network. And all of a sudden, the smiles come out. All of a sudden, these guys are the guys who aren't saying no. They're talking about how many can I add? How far can I go? So I think we've hit the nail on these different configurations, which I just think is so great. Now, we put together, you have a little video on the product, and I just want to roll the video because you did such a good job on it. So we're not going to show you the whole video, folks. This is just about 30 seconds to a minute from the video. But give a watch this, and the entire video is available on the PTZOptics site, on YouTube, and on the Videoguys blog.
PTZOptics wireless cable is read through the included manual. Each set of PTZOptics wireless cables comes with an access point and a base station pre-paired together. Depending on the PTZOptics wireless cable SKU that you have ordered, you should have one box per access point and one box per station. Screw each antenna into the antenna ports located at the top of each unit. Start by plugging your wireless cable units into power. You will immediately see the power indicator light turn on. The link LED indicator light will start to blink, indicating that this unit is searching for a connection. You can now plug one wireless cable unit into your computer or local area network, and you can plug the next wireless cable unit into a camera or extended PoE Ethernet network. This is literally all you need to do to set up your wireless cable units. You can learn more at ptzoptics.com/wireless-cable.
All right, we're back. Great video, Paul, great job. I just want to we're having some problems with our Facebook feed. I know some people are losing it. The YouTube feed is still live, and we'll still be able to post the whole show after it's done onto Facebook and get it done. So I apologize for people who've lost the show. Maybe you'll find us later. We think we're live, but some people are telling us we aren't. So Facebook can be that way, as we all know, Paul. Sometimes Facebook just doesn't want to cooperate with live streaming. Now let's go to another product that you guys introduced that I'm using at my desk. I think it's amazing. It's the PTZOptics Webcam 84. And it's an inexpensive webcam, and we're like, why are we putting a webcam that's a $98 webcam on our show? Well, I'm going to tell you why we're going to put it on a show, because we're going to bring in Oliver now, and Oliver is actually sitting practically in the dark, running the TriCaster. You're basically seeing him based on the glow of the screens that he's looking at. That's all the lighting he has, and this image looks great, and I use it in my office as my office webcam. What I really love about it is it's a wide angle view, so it's not like up and in my face. Yeah, I can get a lot closer if I really want to lean in, but if I lean back a little bit, you see my office. It looks very different than a typical webcam, and I think the fact that I have a nice office, I've got a nice little desk and bric-a-brac and stuff behind me, it just looks better when I'm on. I also don't feel that people are just like staring at my nostrils and stuff like that. So it's just a great product, and we're using it in our live productions by having it feed USB directly into the TriCaster. And I just want to point out that anyone using OBS, vMix, anything that'll accept the USB input for streaming can now use that as an added camera. And that's what we've done. We've taken this webcam that's intended for conferencing and Zoom and WebEx and stuff like that, and we're using it as, it's now our crew cam to show the guys, whoever happens to be working it that day, the TriCaster. So just a great product. For $100, if you want a webcam, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Give them $100 and get this webcam. It's that good.
It's great. And, you know, one of the great things, especially if you are a PTZOptics customer, you'll notice that the on-screen display menu options are built just like our professional production PTZ cameras. That's something you just simply don't find in the normal webcams. So you have control over iris, shutter speed, contrast, all of the things, white balance to the degrees of the LED lights that you might be using in your studio. And those fine details help you color match between a PTZ camera and a webcam. Now, heck, there's a big difference between a $2,000 lens and a $100 lens, but it still gives you a level of control at that entry-level price point for folks who can't maybe afford one of our Z cams that does have the professional level optics. And they get to be able to get into the game, get streaming, add that extra camera shot that you can make your production just that much better.
Great. We're going to roll a little video you guys have on that as well. So let's roll that footage.
Optics Webcam, a webcam made for everyone. Whether you are a busy professional making meetings on the go, a gamer attracting viewers for your live feed, a beauty blogger creating a step-by-step makeup tutorial, or a podcaster growing your following, the PTZOptics Webcam makes sense. The PTZOptics Webcam will work with any Mac, PC, or Android computer. Just remove the lens cap and connect. The LED light is illuminated when in use, making it easy to detect when you are about to go live. The PTZOptics Webcam provides an 80-degree field of view and the beam-forming microphone array, providing for high-quality audio pickup. The PTZOptics Webcam also has a 3-year manufacturer's warranty. So when you're looking for a quick and easy way to add live video to your creative projects or business meetings, look no further than the PTZOptics Webcam, a webcam for everyone.
All right, so that's on our new products. Once again, we have the wireless cable over here, and we have the PTZOptics webcam, which we had Oliver on before. We're not going to cut to him now. And now we're going to change modes as a segment in this show. We're going to go from product to something we talked about earlier in the show that you guys are going to do. So, Paul, I'm going to artificially pause now so we can break this into a little sub-clip later, all right? So I'm just going to stop talking for a few seconds and then come back in. All right, I've got Paul Richards, and he's the original Stream Geek, and he's going to tell us a little about the Streamgeeks Summit. And Paul, I'm really wrong. You're not the original Stream Geek. You're one of two. But I want you to talk about this summit that's coming up in November. It's going to be in New York, and it's the place to be if you want to learn about everything and anything that's actually creating and streaming your own content. So, Paul, take it away. Tell us about the show.
Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be bringing a full day of education to New York City, and it's going to be called the Streamgeeks Summit. We have over 20 speakers from all across the industry, Microsoft, LinkedIn. We have folks from esports, from gaming. We've got sponsors such as Amazon and Roland. So many great companies coming together to provide a full day of education. And guess what? It's 100% free. It's going to be free streamed online if you want to get a virtual ticket. And we also have options for premium tickets and coming in person. It's going to be at the Dream Downtown Hotel in downtown Chelsea, right next to Chelsea Market and the Google headquarters for YouTube. This is going to be a really fun event on November 8th. It's a Friday. And we're also bringing in some influencers from New York City. I don't know if you've heard of The Urbanist or Mickey, who does her live from New York City Facebook page with over 100,000 followers. But they're coming to talk about how their influencers are using live streaming, which I think is something that businesses have to pay attention to. But this full day of education is going to have high-level information. We have a keynote speaker, Jeffrey Colon, who is the head of brand advertising for Microsoft. And as you know, Microsoft is really getting into live streaming. On the B2B side, they have LinkedIn, and we will have a professional from LinkedIn. But on the esports side, they also have Mixer. Either way, we're going to have high-level information for CEOs and then really technical workshops for those folks who really want to get hands-on with the video production. And nobody becomes a video production expert overnight. So the point is to come out, network, meet with a bunch of fun people. We're going to have a VIP party with the folks from LiveView, also Roland and some of the other great companies that have sponsored us. All the information is available at streamgeeks.us/summit.
And I just want to stress, a lot of our vendors, a lot of the products you've seen featured on the Video Guys News Day Tuesday are going to be there. We're going to have LiveView. We're going to have some guys from Wirecast, New Tech, Roland we mentioned. You're going to be there from PTZOptics. I'm going to be there from Video Guys. It's a whole exciting show, and I can't wait to participate in it and have it, and it's going to be a good time. So thank you for putting that together. And once again, we're also going to give someone a free ticket who's watching this show. So you can win a free ticket to the summit by basically following the URL in this description, which will also be brought to you on the links in YouTube and on Facebook. And if you click on that, you get a chance to win a free ticket. So that's really great.
Yeah,
all right.
I can't wait. We've got, like you said, Amazon, Wirecast, LiveView, Production Hub, New Tech, PTZOptics. It's going to be something where if you're from the New York City area, you really should attend. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. At this point, I want to thank you, Paul, for coming on the show. I'm going to talk about the next few shows we have coming up. We can bring the slide up. We got a really good lineup, and it's about time. First of all, LiveView. We're going to introduce the LiveView LRT Connect bundles. These bundles include an unlimited data plan, 2 modems, everything you need, LRT, all in the box. It's very cool. It's going to be complete bundles and technology. Really going to make that out-of-box experience much more easier for LiveView people who want to get involved with the LiveView Solo. And then we're going to have the Telestream folks on with Wirecast Gear. They are brand new dedicated streaming computers running Wirecast Pro. And on October 15th, big announcement. Video Guys is going to start selling Panasonic NDI HX PTZ cameras and controllers. So we're going to go into that on the PTZ part of the show. I think we're going to have someone in from Panasonic, but if not, I'll be doing the show. Super excited about that. Panasonic's the #1 manufacturer of PTZ cameras in the world. They have NDI technology, which is really great, and we're here to help share that NDI HX Panasonic love with you. So that concludes our show today. I hope you really enjoyed it. I thank Paul from Streamgeeks and PTZOptics for being on the show. We went over what's new. We went over the Streamgeeks Summit. Give us 20, 25 minutes here on a Tuesday in the Video Guys. We're going to teach you about the products we sell. We're going to teach you about industry events, industry technology, industry trends. Remember, you can always call us at 800-323-2325. Email us, like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, watch all our stuff, help our social media grow. The more people you get to know our site, know our webinars, the more often the better stuff we can do with them. So this is Gary from Videoguys.com. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Video Guys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us
Not
on
too many
Twitter and
people,
Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.